Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
I mean, you could say that he hasn't played for United this season.
Yeah, you could do, but you'd still put him in, even if he hasn't played. His goalkeeper's... He played for Spain the other day, 90 minutes, but that was a clean sheet against Macedonia, which didn't really say much, but I think he's good enough to come straight back in. And Liverpool last year, he was man of the match. Balotelli, all those, Balotelli, Sterling, we should not have won that 3-0. We did because of him. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, moving on to right back.
Right back.
I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go for Matteo Darmian. I don't think you can really argue with that. I think Klein has been...
I think Liverpool fans will argue with that. I think they're going to put the case across, but they're wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're all wrong.
I mean, Klein has been, he's had an impressive start to his Liverpool career. I would have been delighted if United had got him in the summer. We were really linked to him.
Yeah, we were.
But we've got Darmian, and he's just been class, hasn't he?
Darmian's been, for me so far, Darmian's been our best signing so far. I think he's just excelled expectations, and he just keeps getting better. And he seems humble. I think Klein is a good player. I think it's a good signing by Liverpool, but Darmian's just a step above him at the moment. 2 centre backs, I'll take these. There's one guarantee in there. That's Mike Smalling. He's been phenomenal.
And Liverpool fans will argue with this because you say the name Chris Smalling and you kind of have, over the last few years he's been pretty rubbish.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But ever since the Manchester City game last season where he got sent off, he's just, everyone slated him for that, and rightly so. But ever since then he's just been absolutely amazing.
He's been immense. More so than anybody would have expected him to. He's just transformed himself, and he seems to get better with every game as well. He's really, it's more his physical presence I'm impressed with so far. If there's a ball in the air, he'll run and he'll just jump and he'll head it out. Whereas normally he would have got pushed over. I think his partner in this combined 11 is probably... I think both players are... It's between Skirtle and Blind, right? And we're going to put Skirtle in here just because we're being nice to you. We're going to give you a player. But I don't think...
Blind has been very, very good this season. Right?
He has.
He was getting slagged off before the season started, saying he's playing there in pre-season. Why the hell is Blind starting at centre back? Everyone wanted us to sign Otamendi and Ramos. Obviously, they didn't come off. And Blind, we've had an amazing record defensively so far this season, and a large part of that has been down to Blind. He's been really.
Blind like Shaw, like Smalling, has been better than anyone would have expected him so far. But I think he'll get caught out in time. I think over the course of the season he will get exposed against bigger players.
I mean, saw it against Gomez. Against Swansea.
And I think we might see it against Benteke as well. Hopefully Smalling gets on him much more than Benteke gets on Blind, but we don't know. So you can have Skirtle, right? There you go. We're nice to you. Left back, no-brainer. Luke Shaw. Probably been up there with Darmian as our player of the season so far. These full-back positions which previously were crap for United. I wouldn't say crap for United. We haven't had a stable full-back partnership since Ever and Neville and their pomp. And that was a few years ago.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Shaw's just been amazing this year.
I mean, you saw it against for England as well. Every time he plays for England, he loves running again. Last year, he wasn't overweight. He's a big kid, but he just wasn't fit enough for Louis van Gaal's team.
Yeah, I mean, Van Gaal called him out on it pretty much the day he joined. But fair play to him. Him and Januzaj went to Dubai in the summer and bulked up, and you can tell that they've put in all this work over the summer because his energy up and down that left flank is absolutely ridiculous. Joe Gomez for Liverpool, he's been playing on the left-hand side of defence.
He's been playing all right.
Don't get me wrong, he's a promising player, and I think he will be a fantastic player one day, but at the minute he's got to be sure, I think.
Yeah, no-brainer. So there's plenty of no-brainers in that defence, and not many of them are Liverpool/none. Sorry, Liverpool. Central holding mid, who are you going for?
Schneiderlin, I think.
Schneiderlin is a player that Liverpool would have loved to have signed Arsenal. He was the player this summer in the Premier League that a lot of clubs could have done with, especially United. And he's powerful, isn't he?
He just brings so much to our midfield. We were absolutely crying out for last year.
We've been crying out for that for years, man.
For absolute years. We've finally got a midfield. Him and Schweinsteiger have just been different class.
Remember last season when Carrick was out, we had no midfield. Now we've got Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger, who we'll come on to at some point. But Schneiderlin, he's that player who makes it tick over, makes the wheel.
He's just one of the players that just every team needs, like Matic last year for Chelsea. Just every team needs that player, and we've finally got him, and it makes such a big difference in the middle of the pack.
What about two players in front of him?
Well, I'm going to go for Jordan Henderson and Bastian Schweinsteiger, because
is this combined 11 that can play tomorrow? Because I'm not sure about Henderson.
Yeah, with Henderson, I'm kind of going on the basis that I think this team would work well as a unit, not necessarily kind of the best players.
Just cover story.
I think that Henderson and Schweinsteiger in the middle would work together brilliantly as a partnership with Schneiderlin behind them. I do really rate Jordan Henderson. I mean, I have to disagree with Sir Alex Ferguson. He said that something about him, he couldn't run properly or something like that.
Properly, could he?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I as much as it pains me to say it, I really rate Jordan Henderson. I think he's a superb player. Some of the whipped balls. Whenever I watch Liverpool, Jordan Henderson will always come up with one of them. You know, them whipped balls that kind of Di Maria used to do last season. He's really, really good at that. Anyway, I really rate him.
This isn't the Jordan Henderson
show
here.
Yeah.
Right, he's in the team. Let's skip it. Bastian Schweinsteiger, and that's something all different altogether. He played his first 2 full games this international break with Germany. Yeah. His fitness has been a little bit of a concern, but once he really gets cooking on gas and he can play every single game, he's going to be the conductor. He's like, as much as Schneiderlin's going to be the enforcer, Schweinsteiger's going to make shit work. He's going to spray these passes here. He's going to find the runs. And I don't think Liverpool have got a midfielder that can possibly knock him out of that role.
No, I mean, there isn't.
There literally isn't. Yeah. I don't even know. I can't even name him.
I mean, whenever Schweinsteiger's on the pitch, you can just... his class just oozes and just goes throughout the entire team, doesn't it? I mean, and when he's on the pitch and when he isn't on the pitch, there's such a monumental difference. It's kind of like Carrick last year, but Schweinsteiger just takes it to a whole different level. His passing in particular is just absolutely mental. That pass for Herrera against Club Brugge,
that was awesome.
It just sums him up. He's just an absolute world class player, and I don't think. I'm sorry, but I don't think any Liverpool players get anywhere near him.
No, I think Liverpool fans they won't be the first to admit that, but they know.
Yeah, they know.
Front three, slightly more difficult.
We've had a bit of a disagreement about this.
I'd say a little bit, but basically Liverpool and United have both been crap in attack this year, so it's a case of choosing who we have considered to have played less bad rather than who we actually think is the best attack. I'd say the one player from Liverpool who... I mean, if you look at Liverpool a couple of years ago, you had Sterling, Suarez, Sturridge, Coutinho. Gerrard always scored against us, the bastard. You look at your team now, the only player I'm scared of is Coutinho. Now, he's banned from this game. Yeah. So,
are we going to include him even though he's banned? I think we should.
I think they can have Coutinho. Coutinho's your best player by far. I think without him being in the game on Saturday, there's a massive advantage to United. But moving on from Coutinho, because that's the only player I actually quite admire from the Liverpool team right now is Coutinho. I think he's very, very good. Out on the wing here, who do we go for in the end?
It's kind of my heart and my head. I want to include Memphis Depay because I think, I'm going to say it, I think he is the next Cristiano Ronaldo. His potential is just, the ceiling for him is so high. Yeah. But at the minute, he hasn't quite... He releases the ball a bit too late, and some of his decision-making has been a bit dodgy, and he takes a bit too many shots during a game. So I think I'm going to include Juan Mata for this one. And, I mean, hopefully I'll include Anthony Martial next week when he scores a hat-trick against Liverpool.
Double hat-trick.
But, I think Juan Mata, I think he's ever since that 6-game winning streak we went on last year, he's been really good.
He's when he's on form, he's a different gravy. He's just oozes class. I mean, last year at Anfield, he sunk Liverpool with 2 cracking goals. One of the best goals I remember at Anfield in a long time. It depends whether we're going to be playing with pace or not. Yeah. Whether this team is going to play with pace or not.
Yeah, that's the only criticism of Mata. When you're looking to play on the counter, he does slow down United's attacks. And that's where I think Jordan Henderson comes in, just to go back to the midfield.
Stop talking about Jordan Henderson,
his work in midfield would make a difference to Mata, I feel. But yeah, should we move on to striker? This is kind of a topic for debate.
This is the main one: Benteke versus Rooney. Now, I don't really think you can have a solid argument for either of them, really, because Rooney's been atrocious in the league this year. That's the only word you can use to describe it. Yeah. Scored a couple of crackers against Club Bruges. Scored a penalty for England. Apart from that, Rooney's been. Benteke, he scored a cracker in pre-season. Apart from that, he's looked. For me, I don't watch all your games. Sorry, I watch highlights, and every time I see him, he looks. He's not confident at all. Not a £32 million striker.
Yeah, I think with Benteke, Liverpool is still trying to figure out how best to play with him in the side. I think they've definitely had to change their style, obviously, to suit Benteke. He thrives on crosses, and he's amazing in the air. And he likes the ball to feet, but you know, Liverpool haven't necessarily played like that in recent years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's kind of a case of which one you rate more. He's kind of the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah.
Because if you'd asked me before the season, I would have said Rooney hands down, and I would have said Rooney's going to score 20, 25 goals this year.
Yeah.
Because he's playing up front, and that's going to be his sole focus this year.
Yeah.
But like I say, in these first few games, he's just been absolutely atrocious in the Premier League, at least, not in the Champions League. But yeah, I think personally, I'd go for Benteke right now. Right, at this very moment, but as much as it pains me to say, but that's not necessarily a glowing endorsement of Benteke. It's just that I rate him more than Rooney at this moment in time.
At this particular moment in time, that's the disclaimer at the end of it. I mean, what we'll do now is we'll pull up a graphic of the predicted 11 that we think. Sorry, not the predicted 11, the combined 11 that we think is the strongest 11 between Liverpool and United right now. Let us know in the comments what you think, whether this is the strongest 11. I think the Rooney-Benteke one's probably going to be the main talking point. Maybe we can get Herrera in there instead of Henderson. I mean, I love Ander Herrera. So I'd probably have him in there all day long over Henderson. Not because I don't like Henderson, but because I love Herrera.
Yeah.
I mean, he is...
Yeah, maybe I'm just trying to be fair.
Yeah, don't be fair to the Scouts, man. It's all 11, right? So basically, just leave your comments below. And hopefully we'll be back after the weekend after a 6-0 drubbing. Nathaniel Klein, one of your better signings this summer. I think he's a good right back. I would have been happy if he had become the right back at United this year.